Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, method actor who plays Paul Pluta on the Paul Pluta channel. What am I doing today? I'm doing a paid review. This is paid review 9N46 and I'm wearing a Patek Philippe Grand Classique from Patek Philippe 5127 automatic. This one actually features the 315 SC movement. I love it. I love my Patek. I fitted it with the deployant buckle there. Fuck, that's expensive. But I bought it secondhand from Shawnee in Melbourne. Shawnee, European Watch Gallery in Collins Street. Okay, here we go. 9N46. Hello, fellow cane toad. He's a fellow Queenslander. Had a few questions for you, many about Jaeger-LeCoultre, plus some more. Background, I travel for a living, so the only watches I'm interested in are GMT or World Times. No worries, man. You come to the right place. I am a huge Jaeger-LeCoultre fan. Love it to death. Okay, here we go. What is your thoughts on the Jaeger-LeCoultre as a brand? I became interested in them after reading the Mastery of Time. They have some great innovations and deserve their nickname, the Watchmaker's Watchmaker, in my humble opinion. I also enjoyed penis puppetry, but you don't see me mouthing off at the scrotum. What do I think of Jaeger-LeCoultre as a brand? They are a fantastic brand. They were a movement maker. You know, they've supplied movements to so many high-end watches. The original Cartier Tank. They've supplied movements to Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, Vacher and Constantine. They are amazing, an amazing firm. This here is the 8-day Power Reserve Reverso Grande date. I love it to death. What do I think of JLC as a brand? I think they are a fantastic brand, wonderful brand. The quality, look, to be completely frank with you, it's not quite Patek quality, but it's nowhere near Patek prices. I think the quality is good. Quality's very good. Patek seems to go that extra step. Even when they use Jaeger-LeCoultre movements, a lot of the Audemars Piguets also use Jaeger-LeCoultre movements, a lot of the Royal Oaks actually. AP then finished it at a higher level. So AP and anyone else seems to, those high-end brands seem to take it a bit further, but Jaeger-LeCoultre I think is a fantastic brand. However, in modern times, it's sad to say this, but they've gotten soft, very soft. Look, their master compressor line, very soft for a lot of models. The master control, 1,000 hours of testing, amazing, but just a bit soft. I think certain models do better than others. Reverso, I like the Reversos, especially manual wind Reversos. What do I think as a brand? I love the brand, but be careful. Be careful, because resale values, the market has gone crazy for Rolex and sports Patek. So you've got to be very careful with what you buy. Question 2. So my advice is, what do I think of JLC as a brand? Great brand. Buy with caution. Got to be careful. Do your due diligence. Okay, number 2. You have a Reverso. Yes, I do. I've just shown that a couple times. We'll bring it out again. Bring it out again, Archie. There we go. Reverso Grande date. Love that watch. This is certainly an iconic watch and seems in fashion. Well, I don't know if I'd say that, but the trend in watch sizes has been smaller for a few years now. Do you see the Reverso as a short-term fashion trend? Or is it here? Well. Or is it here to stay? Look, hang on. Let's back the truck up. The Reverso, to quote the watch snob, is one of the best dress watches. I mean, I don't see the Reverso as a short-term fashion trend. They came out 1931. They were a sports watch, very innovative. Do you see the Reverso as a short? No way in the world. The Reverso is an icon in the wristwatch community. Reversos come in a number of sizes. You've got the classic size, you've got the grande size, you got ladies ones you can get. And also with Reverso, they have a lot of ultra thins. Now, my Reverso Grande, it's a big one because it has the 8-day power reserve. It's quite a fat watch. I don't give a fuck. Fuck fashion. Fuck fashion fickle, fuckers. Fuck fashion fickle. So my opinion there is I liked it as a watch. I didn't really care about fashion. I think the Reverso design icon, it's amazing. It's probably, in my opinion, I think it's the best rectangular watch. I think it's nicer than the Patek Gondola, nicer than the Cartier Tank. It is just a cool idea. Question 3. What is your opinion of the Jaeger-LeCoultre? These are fucking questions. He's going on and on. This is for a small fee. What is your opinion of the Jaeger-LeCoultre Polaris World Time Titanium or the limited edition stainless steel? Is the movement 752A a good movement? What I hear online is that the JLC community is divided on the Polaris line. Wow. Look, the Polaris line. I don't hate the Polaris line. I'm not anti-Polaris line there. The Polaris line, they have, you know, they have the alarm, the Polaris. I've got to be honest with you there. I've never really been a big fan of it. I've never really loved the Polaris line there. That's not to say it's a bad watch. It's not to say it's a good watch. It's just saying what I feel there. You know, the Polaris Memovox. They've kind of the Polaris line's been very, very sporty. It's kind of cool, man. It's hip. It's happening. You know, that's kind of how they have done things. It goes back to the 1969 Memovox Polaris, designed to accompany the urban adventurer in all circles. What the fuck marketing fluff is that? Fuck, that's kind of marketing fluff. This is reading from the JLC. What the fuck is this marketing fluff? Look, I don't necessarily hate the Polaris line. I think JLC makes very, very nice, very good quality stuff. You can't really criticize it. No, I wouldn't really criticize it. I'm a traditionalist. I like the Master Control line and I like the Reverso line. Polaris, it's not really the movement. Look. Some of these all movements can be problematic, but JLC, the movements are beautiful. They are beautiful. So I don't really dislike. I haven't actually owned a Polaris World Time in titanium. I haven't owned that, but titanium also is not my metal of choice. What I can tell you is horrid depreciation. Absolutely horrid depreciation. Depreciation, it's like Maserati depreciation. Fuck me, Dad. You drive that fucker out of the showroom, you lost a fifth of your investment. But hey, that's kind of how it works, sunshine. That's kind of how it works there. So the Master Compressor line, that's another line that's fucking, it's kind of, fashion is very fickle on these things. Okay. Next question is, why is JLC not considered in the same league as brands like the Holy Trinity or A Long A? What I read online varies from having lower entry price models to being part of the Richmond group, yet that group also has Lange and one of the Trinity, Vasher and Constantine. Well, look, hang on, let's back the truck up. Now, the Holy Trinity is a Swiss conglomerate, okay, a Swiss invention. You've got to be Swiss. So Lange is German, you know. They lost the war, so they can't be part of the Holy Trinity. It's got to be Swiss. It's a Swiss conglomerate, Swiss invention. Why isn't well? See, Jaeger-LeCoultre, they did a few sinful things there in their past. They never finished the movements to Paddock or Vacheron or Audemars Piguet level. They also used gold plating. Gold plating, yes. In their disgraceful past, they used a bit of gold plating. And the other thing they did was, let me tell you this. There is a difference between Jaeger-LeCoultre and LeCoultre. You know, LeCoultre was the cheaper, nasty brand. Cheaper, like sort of like Tudor for Rolex. So, yeah, they were a little bit. So that Jaeger-LeCoultre has always been a bit. It's kind of where they've pegged themselves in the marketplace. Paddock has always been top end, Vacheron top end. You know, not everyone wants to compete at the Rolls-Royce end. You make more sales in the Mercedes-Benz or the BMW end or the Chevy end. So you've got to find your place. Now, they may provide some parts like the GM gearbox, which goes into a Rolls-Royce, but they've kind of concentrated on a certain pricing niche. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think Jaeger-LeCoultre is a brand that they were a movement maker. They were a movement maker. Great brand. I don't have a problem with. I think they're a great brand. I don't have a problem with them. So it's more to do with the level of finishing. The Jaeger-LeCoultres didn't have the same level. And that is reflected in a lower price point. Number 5, what I've read online, the Glycine Airman was the first 24-hour GMT watch released in 1953. The Rolex GMT Master 1 released 1955. Glycine once had a good reputation, especially around the Vietnam War area. Now they are shitters. Do you see them ever making a comeback? Well, the Glycine Airman, look, let's just clarify things. What happened was Glycine, like a lot of Swiss makers, when the quartz revolution happened, a lot of these makers they died off. Some of them have risen from the ashes. The Phoenix companies, look, Glycine will never be high-end luxury, okay? Rolex stole that luxury GMT segment. Glycine seemed to have fucked it up. So I've actually handled a few of these Vietnam War era Glycine Airmen. They're a little bit small, a little bit thin. So they weren't as rugged as the Rolex. Let's be honest there. They weren't fucking as rugged as the Rolex, and they were a fuckload cheaper. So the Glycine Airmen, they're shitters because they use generic movements. They just become it's a bit like Longines. They were once much more. It's like Chrysler. Longines is like Chrysler. Longines, they used to be well regarded. They were like the American Mercedes-Benz. Now, fuck me dead, Chrysler. Absolute fucking garbage. That's how the world has turned. Do I see Glycine making a comeback? No. I'm sorry, they won't. Fuck, this guy's asking the questions. We'll keep going because we're almost there. Number 6, what do you recommend if someone is in a position to buy a Rolex GMT Master 2 stainless or save a little longer for a Pepsi White Gold? Phew, I tell you honestly, completely different watches. The White Gold is something you really wouldn't want to wear every day. I would say it's more of a fashion watch. All these watches are fashion accessories. Personally, I would go and get an Explorer 2. Better bang per buck. GMT function. I don't think a GMT with a rotating bezel is the best. I think it's hard enough to work out 24-hour time with a fixed steel bezel, which I think the Explorer 2 is where I would fucking go. That's the smart money. And finally, is there a travel watch you would recommend that I've missed? The Sky Dweller is too much attention seeking for my liking, and the JLC Master Geographic too much of a dress watch. Looking for something that is halfway between sports and dress. Right now, the only two I could think of are JLC or Rolex. The Patek World Time is pretty expensive, but I suppose it could be a consideration. Thanks, Brad. Brad. Seriously, my view is there's only one fucking World Time. That's the Patek Philippe World Time. That is the only fucking World Time to consider. That is it. It's the Patek World Time. That is the only World Time to consider. Look, I would seriously say, I don't mind JLC's offerings there. They're quite reasonable. I personally, I gotta be honest with you, I've done a lot of travel. I reckon the Explorer 2 is the king to travel. Just so easy to set. That's what I reckon the best travel watch is. The Sky Dweller is, yeah, it's too fancy wancy. Yeah, it tracks the wrong attention. I would say a good compromise. You want to go Patek, which Patek is dress watch. Okay. But this is a fancy dress watch, bang per buck, for about. It's expensive, but it's cheap when you say it's Patek. You could get a Patek 5134. That's a Patek manual wind travel time, Calatrava travel time. I reckon that is the sweet spot. That's just a fucking cool watch. Very cool. That's what I reckon would be a very cool wild card edition. So there we go. We've answered a few questions. This is for Brad. I hope it helps. Guys, like, subscribe. Tell your fuckhead friend nasty comments down below, please. Guys, remember, man cannot survive on Google Ads alone. No. Please, guys, consider getting a paid review. Remember, paid reviews keep me full-time on the YouTubes. I'm Paul Pluta. Tell me what you fuckaroonies think of that. Thank you, Brad. Explorer 2, man, that's the one. That's such a useful watch. I love the Explorer 2. So cool, so useful, and amazing bang per buck. David SW. Who does ArchieLuxury recommend is the greatest grey market dealer in America? There's only one choice, David SW. That's right, guys. I've got to tell you the honest truth. I have, for a long time, been looking for the perfect answer. Who do I recommend people go to see? Who do I recommend that people can go and buy watches? And I've got to be honest with you. The greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet is David SW. DavidSW.com. That's right, guys. I have been looking for a contact who I can very nicely refer people to. I am not in the selling business. Customer service, I'm too old to sell watches. I'm too old. I like to recommend my viewers to a reliable source. In Australia, I've got some great sources. There's Sydney Watch Exchange with Cove, Ronnie at Vintage Watch Co, Shani at European Watch Gallery. And in America, who is the best source for pre-owned Rolex? For all the hot models, there's only one person I would recommend, David SW. That is the premier source for pre-owned Rolex. I gotta be completely frank and honest with you. Guys, if you are looking for a hot Rolex model, there is only one place you can go to. David SW. David SW. David SW. Let's be honest, guys. There's no point schmoozing the dealers, the ADs. They're just a waste of time. Unless you're going to buy 20 pieces, you are wasting your time. What you're better off to do is pay the market premium and go to a good pre-owned dealer. Who do I recommend? David SW. David SW. David SW. That's correct, guys. I want to tell you this now. I 100% stand behind David SW. David SW, the greatest pre-owned dealer in the entire United States of America. That's right. The greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, for Patek Philippe, for Audemars Piguet, David SW. He even does things like FP Journe. David SW, David SW, David SW. That's right. If you want to buy a pre-owned Rolex, a Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, there's only one good source I would recommend. David SW. David SW. David SW. I'm Paul Pluta, the method actor who plays Archibald Chesterfield III, and I'm proud to recommend David SW. See you later. Thank you for watching this channel.